Hey, what's up, you guys? Yes, it's that time of year again. Everybody's getting their back to school tech and getting organized with some fresh new tools to help them stay productive this year. So with that, I thought I would offer up some desk setup and living space inspiration for anybody who is looking to sort of redesign their workspace for the coming days of relentless homework. Hopefully anyone with a small desk or living space will be able to find something useful in this video, or see something that might help them transform what can tend to be a pretty dull and unmotivating workspace into a stress-free zone to stay calm and get your work done. You know, I think I'm gonna hold this because it just feels more natural. This is the future. Moving on. Starting off with what is probably the most important part of any desk setup is the desk itself, and this one just came with the room, so what can I say? Work with what you got. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry. The second most important piece would be your computer monitor. Even if you already have a laptop, I think it's so important to be able to extend or magnify your screen at times to help you stay more productive. You're already spending most of your day staring down at your phone, so I think once in a while it's good for your neck actually to be able to tilt your head up and look at a screen that's bigger than 6 inches. You want a monitor with a sleek modern design that looks great but won't blow your budget. Right now I'm rocking this HP Pavilion 23XW IPS LED display, and I gotta say it's pretty decent. For about 150 bucks you get a full 1080p resolution, 2 HDMI ports, and a VGA input if you're still living in 2010. Screen response time is 7 milliseconds and it's got a contrast ratio of 10 million to 1. And the screen has a matte finish, which means if you're near a window you aren't going to be catching any glare or reflection from the sun, which is always important. Is it top of the line? No. In fact, there's an even newer model of this exact same monitor that's overall thinner and takes up a smaller footprint on your desk. I'll leave a description in the link below.
Take them words, 69.
Next come the peripherals. Again, even if you have a laptop, you know using a touchpad can be very fatiguing, especially for hours on end. I'm still using the same keyboard and mouse combo from Logitech that I did in my last desk setup video, and monitor too, but what can I say, I'm a college student, and I know how to pick out the good tech, so I mean all of this stuff is pretty great. So I'm still using the Logitech T620 Touch mouse, which has remained surprisingly functional, but it's about time to upgrade it. Logitech has since released a new version of this same mouse, the T630, as well as discontinued both of them. You can still pick them both up on Amazon, but the prices vary from $25 to $125. So I mean, I'll leave a couple links in the description below and a couple promising alternatives like the Microsoft Surface mouse, which is probably what I'm going to upgrade to be honest. As for the keyboard, I'm still using the white Logitech K750 Solar keyboard, which is actually made for Mac computers. So most of the function keys don't work for me. The Windows version only came in black, and I am kind of all about the aesthetics here, fashion over function, you know, so sue me. I've never once had any issues with battery life or not having enough light. It'll last for months in pitch black, and the battery backup is powered by a watch battery, so you never have to worry about this keyboard not working ever. And the nice thing about this keyboard mouse combo is that they're both made by Logitech, which means you can have them both running off of one unifying receiver, which frees up more of the USB ports on your computer. And you have one less tiny minuscule dongle to keep track of, which is always good. It's so small you can just leave it plugged in forever and never have to think about it again because it can take up to 6 devices. Alright, enough about the keyboard and mouse. Let's move on to some stands. For the phone stand, I'm using the Mothka adjustable phone stand in matte black. It's just a solid basic phone stand that's simple and does its job well, and for that, I love it. Unfortunately, these simple devices tend to jump around from manufacturer to manufacturer all over China. So right now this is currently being sold under the brand of Scomet, and it comes in 7 colors, and I will leave it linked in the description below. I also have one more stand that I'm currently using for my 2017 MacBook Pro, and it is amazing. I know they just came out with the 2018 model. I don't care. I bought this one and it was still fucking expensive, but I mean, not as expensive as the new one. But anyway, I'm using the Satechi aluminum laptop stand for MacBooks and Microsoft Surface Books. You can probably use this with a few more laptops like Chromebooks or most thin-form laptops, but the lip on the stand is very small, so it won't work if your laptop is too thick. Another thing I keep at the back of my desk are these two WD drives. They're both dedicated external backups for each hard drive within my PowerSpec desktop. I actually just added a 4TB internal black drive from WD because I filled up the 1TB drive that it came with. So hopefully this will last me a while because I can't afford to keep buying bigger drives. They are so expensive. The white one is 4TB, and that's obviously a backup for the new drive that I put in, and the black one is 1TB drive for the one that I already filled up. And they're both just running the WD backup utility that comes with their hard drives on a daily schedule. I mean, it's no RAID 5, but at least I have a little bit of redundancy. So, you know, in case something happens, I still have a backup. Now, as for cable management, I don't got a lot going for me. But for the WD drives, I got a couple of cheap Amazon Basics USB extension cables for about $5 each. I left them coiled using the twist ties they came with and just let them hang off the back of the desk where they're hidden, and plugged them into a couple of the USB 3.0 ports on the back of the tower next to the desk. For using USB devices at the desk without having to find open ports on the front of the tower, I'm using an Anker 4-port slim hub. I have it mounted right at the edge underneath the desk using some Velcro command strips. Although if you do something similar to this, I would recommend just getting the standard command strips because the Velcro ones, they do come off and they're adjustable, but they also are less adhering. Connecting it to the back of the computer is yet another Amazon Basics USB extension cable, making a total of 3 for the whole setup. Keeping the cord hidden underneath the desk are a couple of desktop cable organizers that stick to the surface. I just repurposed them for underneath the desk since they're sticky. And I'm using a couple more to hide the HDMI and power cords across the back of the desk to give it a clean, minimalistic appearance, which is what I'm all about, no matter how complicated it actually is. Moving on to sound. The sound solution for this setup isn't glamorous, but you have to remember I'm in college and I'm on a budget of like $12.50, so bear with me. I apologize for not using the top of the line stuff. So for regular listening, like watching Netflix or YouTube videos, I'm using a Bluetooth speaker from Memorex. I literally got this as a gift like 4 or 5 years ago, for Christmas probably. Obviously there's not a lot of bass, but for a mid-range speaker, price-wise, it actually sounds pretty decent. With a lot of Bluetooth speakers, there's actually a signal delay of some sort or another, but somehow Memorex has completely bypassed all signal delay whatsoever. There is 0 response time. Lip sync for watching videos is spot on. There's no delay whatsoever, and then keyboard reactions for hitting spacebar, pause, anything like that, it's immediate. I don't know how they did it, but it's amazing and I appreciate it. So when you factor in all these variables, the speaker is actually pretty hands down amazing, especially when you consider all of the faults of the other Bluetooth speakers on the market in its price range. And for the headphones, I'm using some Sennheiser HD 2.2s, perfect for casual listening and even a little editing here and there. When I bought them, they were about $40 on Amazon, but right now they're actually selling for closer to $70. So it's not the cheapest option, but I've been very pleased with their sound quality. I don't think I would have purchased them for $70 though, so I will leave these linked in the description as well as maybe an alternative or something lower in the Sennheiser family. And now we've made it, ladies and gentlemen, to the chair. I got this simple white chair from IKEA for $45. It's just a plain, simple, minimalistic chair that doesn't swivel, which is perfect for my ADD ass, and I love it. Also, I think it helps brighten up the dual grays and the dim lighting of the room, and it promotes good posture, which is always nice. I cannot slouch in this chair, which is a gift and a curse. And last but not least, we have finally made it to lighting, which I think is probably the most important part of the aesthetic of the room. The accent lighting. Not very easy when you're on a budget, but I think the solutions I've come up with here can be used in a multitude of different applications. First up is this sleek modern desk lamp from IKEA. I really wanted to get the white one, but every time I go to IKEA, it's always out of stock. And if you want to order it online, it's like $45 because they mark everything up, especially when they're selling through Amazon. So I settled for the only color they had in store, black. And I have to say, I've been pleasantly surprised by how well it blends into the setup. It balances things, you know? I think it helps break up and kind of balance the other white and silver elements that are already dispersed around the desk. And I have the power switch right in reach because I command stripped it right to the back of the desk. The other two accent lights in the room are the lights behind the headboard of the bed and the lights on the shelf next to the door. For the lights on the headboard, I found some tape lights at, you guessed it, IKEA, for a pretty decent price. They're zigzagged on the back of the headboard for about 3 rows and then down the side of the bed frame where naturally the switch is command stripped to the frame. And the lights by the door are just 30 feet of some really cheap wire lights that I shoved into a glass prism that I got on Amazon. I hid the battery pack behind a fake plant from Target and I turned them on and off with the remote they came with. The lights came in a pack of 2 from Amazon for about $10, making them about $5 a piece. And then the prism was from Amazon as well, and it was $20. So with that, that concludes my back to school desk setup for 2018. Everything in this video and their alternatives will be listed in the description below. If I've left anything out or need to clarify something, just let me know. Drop a comment down below and I will respond to it probably almost immediately because, I mean, look, 45 subscribers, like, I'm not making a lot of money on this. I have a lot of free time. But real quick, one of the things I didn't talk about in this video was the wireless router sitting on top of my computer, which serves a very specific purpose for anyone who has had trouble using a Chromecast, a Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, any kind of smart home, like tech-enabled devices, because you're stuck using your school Wi-Fi that requires some sort of domain logon or a password and a username. I've come up with a pretty easy solution to get all your tech connected. I have to say, when I finally got all the pieces to work together, I felt like a fucking genius. But in reality, it's just knowing a little bit of basic IT. So if you'd like me to make a video explaining the process of how to bypass your university's wireless sign-on, give this video a thumbs up and drop a comment down below and I will make it. And with that, that just about wraps up this entire video. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and also subscribe if you want to see more videos. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.